morning, 8 o'clock on this February 5th. Thanks so much for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Stephanie Joseph.
And I'm Dan Schrack. We have a jam-packed 2 hours to get to this morning. We're going to give you a preview of what's coming up right now in What is Brewing.
So in our 8 o'clock hour, we'll be checking in with Chris Lopez, who is live with the Wesleyan University swimming and diving team. They are just about midway through their season.
Yeah, we've talked to him a few times so far this morning. He keeps on insisting that he's not getting in the water.
No chance.
He says, oh, the chlorine, it doesn't sit well with him or something, but then talks about really loving to swim and enjoying swimming.
No good excuses.
No,
None
there
that
have been no good excuses. It remains to be seen if he's, trying to pull the wool over our eyes or something and just holding off until the very end and then he'll dive in from like the high dive. You think so?
No. Yeah.
I'm still hoping somebody pushes him in.
Well, who knows? I mean, the students were up early. They seem to have the energy. Maybe one of them will.
Yeah, just dive and they took him with him.
Right.
We will find out together. And then later this morning, we're going to be filling you in on some of our top news stories that we are following closely this morning. Obviously, what we're seeing there is not the top news headlines this morning, but all of that is coming up in this morning's edition of our news breaks.
And of course, it's Wednesday, which means it's time for a new edition of Spatchcock Fun.
I think you can say that on television.
Oh my goodness. I enunciated.
I know.
It's a decadent cake.
Okay.
So,
okay.
All right.
Yeah. You might get called down to the office later on today.
Oh my goodness.
And then we are learning and spreading some positivity this hump day. We've got motivational speaker more about ways we can push through the day and smile. This guy is great. No matter what he does it with positivity. He signs his emails unapologetically positive.
Oh, I love
Ramon.
that. Yeah.
And he genuinely is. We've had him on once before, and he just gives really sound guidance on little ways we can remind ourselves when we're feeling down or when we hit that point in the day where it's like, oh, what's this for?
Yeah.
How we can remind ourselves what this is for. So that'll be exciting to speak with him, especially now that we're like the thick of winter.
Darker
it's
outside.
So gray out all the
Goodness.
time. People are down. He'll help us get out of that sad mood.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm already
Ramon, right.
And later in our second hour, so at 9 o'clock, we are going to be having a lot of fun, starting with some trending stories on the internet. In this morning's stories, they range from a bizarre nightclub to an egg heist.
A bizarre nightclub to an egg heist. I've heard about some bizarre nightclubs, I'll tell you that. But
sure.
An egg heist, that one's interesting. That
I think
might
it might
be
have been
new.
the one I told you about.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right. That story's kind of wild, too.
You want to listen to that one?
Yeah. And later we're going to be continuing our coverage on a story we have been following now for the past few weeks regarding the proposal in New York State, the cell phone bans in school. We're going to have an expert joining us this morning talking about those bans. We've talked about this proposal. I think you actually gave us a breakdown one morning on these proposals. Mixed reaction from families. We're hearing mixed responses from Betty Rosa, the head of New York State's Department of Education. We know that the price tag the governor gave on this is pretty hefty for pouches for those cell phones and for cubbies for those cell phones. Remains to be seen if that will be approved. But interesting take from some of the people who know what they're talking about on that topic to make sure kids are paying attention in the classroom. Ultimately, that's the main goal.
Yeah.
Whether or not the cell phones are there, kids need to be paying attention in the classroom.
So it'll be a good conversation.
It will.
All right, then we are celebrating a national holiday, and of course it's a food one. So today is National Chocolate Fondue Day, so we're gonna be taste testing some bizarre chocolate dipped foods.
Okay.
They didn't tell me about bizarre, but
Oh, they didn't?
they told me it will be interesting.
You
Some
don't
of
know
them
what
will be interesting.
You don't know we're trying?
I know there's a fruit, right? One is a fruit.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They assured me no crickets.
No, there aren't crickets.
So that's good.
It's all food I can eat.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's going to taste good at all.
Okay.
I looked at the receipts this morning that they handed, and some of the stuff, it's going to be difficult to stomach. I'm just going to tell you now.
Okay.
So, brace yourself. And then we're ending the show this morning with a bang. We're going to be joined by contestants taking part in the Verona Street Animal Shelter's Rock Top Pet Contest. Live in studio. Today's animal, we have got a cat and a goat.
A goat.
A literal goat coming into studio with us this morning.
Great.
I know. I'm really excited. We know that the one that wins, they get their face on a can of Three Heads Brewing beer. Look at that. You're seeing past winners, those top dogs, or top cat, top goat, top horse. I think there's a ferret maybe somewhere mixed in there. And yeah, until the end of the contest, we're going to be bringing these pets in for you to see at home. We'll go over all of the rules. But all of the money raised by voting goes to the Verona Street Animal Shelter, and they do some incredible work there, so they deserve it. And how can you say no to a pet in need?
You can't. We love our pets here.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
But before all of that fun ahead, we do want to get a check of the weather this morning. So we're going to our friend meteorologist Marty Snyder here with a very cold outlook for us.
But wait, it's also what?
National Weather Person's Day. So happy National Weather
Cue
Person's
the confetti.
Day.
Yeah.
Where
is it?
It must be,
We'll get
it's
it.
broken or something.
We have precipitation outside, so maybe that's a natural kind of confetti, right? But yeah, that's what we have to talk about. We do have the snow that's out there now. A couple of snow showers trying to sneak in at this point. Not going to be a huge amount, but you can see some of that is dropping down right now from Lake Ontario. That'll break down as we go forward throughout the day today, and we're going to see at least the cloud cover stay a little stubborn. Already at this point, there have been some areas that have seen a few breaks in the clouds, so I think that likelihood for a few more breaks increases towards the end of the day today. 25 for high, but we're still going to keep a close eye on tomorrow morning. What's going to happen is we're going to see at least a little bit of period of snow, maybe some mixed precipitation south of town during the morning commute. It's all going to move out pretty rapidly, but that's what we're going to be watching for early tomorrow morning, with at least that chance of some mixed precipitation initially. But good news, not going to stick around all day. We're going to see that move out pretty rapidly for that time frame when it impacts the first part of the day tomorrow.
All right. The only positive part of that forecast, Marty, is the chance for a couple of breaks of sunshine later on today. So we'll be holding our breath until.
And we've seen a couple breaks here already. I looked out the door here in Henrietta.
Oh, really?
Away from the lake. Yeah, we're seeing a few of those breaks try to work in for a few lucky towns at this point.
We need a couple more windows.
Yeah,
here.
just
We
a
do.
tad.
A couple more windows.
Yes.
We'll all enjoy it. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
During the month of February, 13 Wham is celebrating Black History Month by sharing a fun fact each day to highlight the contributions and advancements made in our community.
We certainly are. For today's fact, in 1956, Catherine Green Hawkins became the first black woman to join the Rochester Police Department. She served as a police officer for more than 2 decades and rose to, get this, the level of lieutenant.
13wham.com. Stick around. When we come back, Chris Lopez is in the deep end with the Roberts Wesleyan swim and diving team.
Do you really think he's in the deep end?
No.
No. Hey, don't forget you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We are back after this. The men's and women's swim and dive team at Roberts Wesleyan University are in the midst of their season.
Yeah, and they're hard at work this morning prepping for their next meet. So we go live to our Chris Lopez at the Voller Athletic Center this morning. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good, Steph. A little bit humid in here, but that's not a problem. We were talking to some of the swimmers earlier. Now we're going into the dive section here. I have Emma with me. She's an NCAA qualifier. And we're going to be talking the ins and outs of the techniques of diving. We have Will up there on the 9, was that the 9? The 3 meter, and then Sydney over there
on the 1 meter.
On the 1 meter. So they're going to be doing some stuff. So when Will's lining up right now, I do want to start off. What are you kind of looking for when you're doing this stuff?
So he wants to get like a good top, and then he's doing a 201B, so he's gonna bring his feet up towards his hands and then look for a tight entry, which that's what he did. So that was a good dive.
Anything at all, or is it just autopilot?
For easier dives like Will did, you're thinking about like the technique. So like when he goes off the board, he's thinking about like, I gotta squeeze tight and go for a tight entry.
Sydney's about to dive right now. What's she gonna do?
She's doing a 103B. Which is a front 1.5 somersault, and she did that pretty good.
And the technique-wise, you guys were naming off the numbers of these different dives. 103B, technique-wise, how hard is that in comparison to the other dives you guys do?
It's a pretty easy dive.
And then where does it go from there, numbers-wise? Is it the 5s that start to make it harder, or because there was a board over there?
Yeah, so the 05s, it gets harder, so that's its front 2.5 somersault, and then it just keeps going up from there.
Then when you're up there and you're at where Will's at right now, what's going through your mind?
It depends. For my 205, that's one of my
Interrupt you there. That was a little different.
Front 1.5 twist.
Sydney, what's she about to do? She's backwards this time.
Yep. And she did a back twister, so back 1.5 half. That was good.
And then when you're in the air, like I said, are you autopilot? Are you looking to aim to a certain point?
So for the easier dives, you're kind of thinking about like just squeeze tight and like make a perfect entry. But for harder dives, for me, I just go on autopilot and hope I make it good.
And I want to go over to Will. Will, my man, I'm going to take you off the board right now. You were doing some pretty technical stuff. We have Sydney going off right now. Do you know what she's about to do?
No, I
Going
don't.
off backwards right now.
She's probably about to do a back dive.
Technique-wise, how hard is this stuff right now, what you guys are doing?
She did an inward dive. So right now we're working on our voluntary dives, which are the easier dives. And in championships, these are the scores that stick. Because in championships, we have a chance to redo our harder dives, our optional dives, if we make it to the final round. But the score for the voluntary dives, that's really important to get a solid foundation for our scores when we make it to the finals.
And Emma said you guys get scared. You said you get scared up there. What about that, besides obviously the trick? Is it the anticipation to do it that scares you guys? Is it the height? What specifically scares you guys up there? Because I thought you guys were fearless.
It's definitely times you'll see divers who they may do something, they may mess up a little bit and they smack the water. It can hurt. It's just the anticipation that might happen, but it's really all about trusting your coach and your teammates. Like, especially if my coach tells me I can do it, I trust her. I can do it. I just gotta get past that. I just need that little extra push to get myself off the board and into the air.
And I want to stop Sydney real quickly. Thank you, Will. Before you hop off there, thank you for joining us, taking the time out of your practice this morning. When you're up there, what's going through your mind before you're about to pull some of that stuff off? You were doing incredible stuff. I know that's not even really the best you can do either.
You know, it's really just when I get up on that board, I just think about what I have to do for my dive, really focusing on my board work, what needs to happen before I'm actually in the air to make sure that my takeoff is good and that I'm able to do the best I can in the air. And then, you know, once I'm there, focusing on where I am, where my entry is, and finishing it up nice and clean.
And you're an NCAA qualifier?
Yes.
How does it feel to hear those words?
It feels really good. You know, I went last year, and I'm really happy to be going back this year with Emma and hopefully Will. And, you know, it just feels really good to hear those words, to know that we're doing well as a program and that I'm doing well individually, and it's a great feeling.
What's your favorite thing about diving?
Probably the team, honestly. I love my teammates.
What's the culture here on the team?
We are just we're a really tight-knit group of people. We have a lot of fun at practice. Our coach, Jackie, is absolutely fantastic. You know, we just come in, we have fun, we work hard, but we love it, and it's awesome. It's amazing.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day for the practice. Guys, absolutely amazing stuff that they are doing here. Check this out. I'll send it back to studio on this.
Wow.
Really impressive.
It
If you think
is.
I'm doing that, you're crazy.
Come on, Chris. Why wouldn't you
Looks
try
like
that?
you changed your shirt too. I don't know.
Yeah, you had to get a little
It's
costume
humid
change.
in here.
Oh, is that why?
I'm not going after an NCAA qualifier. I'm not doing that.
Listen, I think you need to let us talk to Sydney, and we can offer her some cash to get you in that pool.
Cash. Oh, has he lost
we're losing
connection?
service.
Oh.
Oh, rap.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Maybe
All
next
right.
hit.
All right, Lopez.
Maybe.
Thank you. Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, it's some of the top headlines of this Wednesday.
Your news break, it's coming up after this. Wednesday morning. I'm Stephanie Joseph. Here's your ARC Rochester news break. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continues high-level talks in Washington today, sitting down with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Netanyahu met with President Trump at the office. During yesterday's meeting, President Trump said he wants the U.S. to take over Gaza, level it, and redevelop it, something Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says could, quote, change history. Trump also suggesting Jordan and Egypt take in displaced Palestinians, which both have long rejected. Netanyahu called the president the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House. The Wall Street Journal reports the Trump administration is expected to announce a $1 billion arms sale to Israel weeks after the bombs.
In our meetings today, the Prime Minister and I focused on the future, discussing how we can work together to ensure Hamas is eliminated and ultimately restore peace to a very troubled region.
In Gaza, Israel has three goals: destroy Hamas's military and governing capabilities, secure the release of all of our hostages, and ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel.
White House officials say President Trump is now focused on working on the second phase of the ceasefire agreement, which would see more hostages released from Hamas control. 76 hostages remain unaccounted for, including 6 Americans. Now, the Trump administration is moving forward with widespread layoffs for federal workers. The layoffs are expected to begin soon after tomorrow's deadline for employees to accept a deferred resignation package. Now, under that package, workers can voluntarily resign and continue to receive pay through September 30th, but will not be required to work. White House officials say more than 20,000 workers have already agreed to the offer. That number is expected to grow. Police outside Columbus, Ohio, are searching for a person of interest in a mass shooting inside a warehouse that left 1 person dead and 5 others injured. Now, he's been identified as Bruce Reginald Foster III, an employee at the warehouse. The shooting happened just before 11. Investigators say about 150 people were inside the building at the time and believe the shooting was targeted.
This has been a very tragic situation. Our thoughts go out to the victims, their families, and everybody that works at this facility. This is something that we hope that would never happen in our community.
Police do not believe there is any threat to the area. In local news, a 31-year-old man is behind bars after police say he stabbed his neighbor on Rochester's northwest side. Officers responded to Saratoga Avenue here around 5:30 last evening and found the victim with a stab wound to the lower body. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Investigators believe the attack stemmed from a neighborhood dispute. The suspect was taken into custody after returning to the scene. Rochester police are also investigating another string of car break-ins downtown, impacting multiple vehicles in just a short amount of time. Officers say at least 7 cars were damaged and property was stolen near East Avenue and East Main Street. According to the University of Rochester's Public Safety Department, at least 8 more vehicles were broken into inside a parking lot near the Eastman School of Music. Police say while the incidents happened within 30 minutes of each other, they appear to be unrelated. So far, no suspects are in custody. Now, for all of these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Stick around. ARC Rochester is back right after this.
6:27 this Wednesday morning. Thanks for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Dan Schrapp.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. We are continuing to make our way through this 8 o'clock hour. And since we are halfway through the week, it's important that we remain positive.
It certainly is, but it's not always easy for everyone to keep things positive and not let the little advice on the power of being positive.
Yeah, we're joined by motivational speaker Ramon Ray to talk just about that, being positive and spreading positivity to others. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good to have you. Good to have it. Thanks for having me here. And I love talking about positivity, Stephanie and Dan. Great to be back again. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ramon, let's dive in. There's got to be some little tips and tricks because, listen, the weeks are long, the days are long, especially during winter and dark, and it gets very gloomy here in our region of the country. What are some of the little reminders that you use throughout your day to kind of turn things around?
Sure. I think two things that comes to mind, Dan. I think one is that we can't ignore the fact that bad things do happen. We can't determine who we're born to, how we're born, how we grew up as children. We can't fight that. And number two, Dan and Stephanie, I think the aspect of luck. You know, you get hit by a car, you drop your ice cream cone. So let's acknowledge things happen. But number two, I find that positivity is a choice. I open up my refrigerator, my favorite coffee's not there, my favorite cream's not there. Guess what? I can still choose to be happy. And number two, I can think about other people. Not that you want to live your life that way, but that's one good way to start it, to say, hey, this happened to me, but you know what? Somebody else probably has it so much more bad. And another component of that, I think, is the power of being thankful. Just being thankful who I am. Wow, I have this, I have that. I have my 2 adult kids, I have a marriage or not. Whatever you have in your life, there's something you can be thankful for. So I'm a firm believer that positivity is absolutely a choice that we all get to wake up with or go to bed with or go throughout our day with and be grateful. So it's a choice, and the power of being thankful and being positive, I think, are two tips. And I can go on, Dan and Stephanie, for another 4 hours if you like, that I find myself being positive.
But I also agree with you. Positivity is a choice, but sometimes it can be easier said than done. Where do you even start? I'm thinking maybe affirmations, but for somebody who's really like bogged down in their situation, can't see the light in the tunnel, what would you recommend that they start with?
Yeah, I find two things. One, what life would you like to live? Do you want to stay that way, or do you want to try your best, Stephanie, to live a life of more positivity? That's one. Number two, this is easier said than done. Hang out with positive people. Now, if the positive person is laying in bed with you, are they your kid? I don't know what to tell you about that. But generally speaking, Stephanie, we often may be hanging around people that drag us down. So as John Acuff says in his book, Soundtracks, you may need to change your friend circle. This doesn't mean you have to get rid of people in your life. That's not so great, and that leads to not being positive. But you may want to say, hey, friend who I normally talk to, instead of talking to you for 30 minutes, let's talk for 1 or 2 minutes, then I'm going to go do something different. So changing your friend circle, asking yourself, number two, what is the life I want to live? Even myself, Stephanie, even myself, Dan, as a positive person, a 52-year-old grown adult, I may get down from time to time. But you know what? I can look at, let me be more positive. Let me choose to operate differently.
Ramon, so it kind of sounds like the positivity is contagious. There's an aspect of...
Dan, and put butter and cheese on it, whatever you want to do, your favorite condiment. Yes, you're around other people, Dan. I'm around you and Stephanie, let's say. We're there for a few hours doing what we do. It's hard to be bad. One, you feel like an idiot for going around moping all day. Number two, it's infectious. So I often tell my kids, I often tell people in my youth group, we have the choice to be the thermostat around us. We can choose to change the narrative, choose to change the climate. We don't have to be the thermometer, and everything that comes on us, we suck it up. We suck it up. That's exactly right. We can choose to A, spread positivity to other people. Number two, don't let negativity invade us. And the more and more good people, I think, to get together, because Dan and Stephanie, the world is an evil place. There's the news, there's the headlines, there's this, that, and the other. That swimming clip you all had was amazing. There's all kind of things going on. on in the world. But yes, we can spread positivity. I want to be clear. This doesn't mean Pollyanna. This doesn't mean not recognizing that bad things happen or things go on that we may disagree with. But we don't have to live our life with our head hang down and feeling that way, because the only person we'll hurt is one person, Dan and Stephanie. We hurt ourselves.
That's true.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I feel like positivity kind of looks different depending on the person. How do you make sure that as you're going on this journey of being more positive, it's authentic to you?
Yeah, that's very true. My daughter has said that, Dad, you just crashed a car and you're still smiling. Well, I got to give her grace. She's not me. So yes, I think those of us who have that positive index, we do have to understand going around the world whistling and something really horrible happened, that may be an inappropriate dose of positivity at that time. So you're exactly right. And I think we can all have a certain measure. But here's the challenge I have for everybody, is that we can all choose to be a bit more positive, contextual to who we are. Valentine's Day last year, I crashed the car. I'm taking my wife, Dan and Stephanie, on a date. Pre-Valentine's Day. You can't get worse than that. And I crashed the car. I had to breathe. I had to acknowledge that I messed up. But I had to move forward and choose positivity.
And was part of that positive choice getting some roses and takeout delivered?
Yeah.
Later on it was, after I just sat in silence and was like, I was driving a bit too fast, I know.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're all right, and glad that you were able to make it on the show this morning and spread a little bit of that joy, and give us some guidance on how we can share some of that.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Absolutely.
You so much.
For somebody sitting at home real quick, I think we've got it at the bottom of the screen there. What website can they go to if they want to learn more about you, Ramon Ray?
That's the best place to go, celebritycu.com. They can find more information about me and get that dose of positivity in their life. Thank you so much.
Love it.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, stick around. When we come back, we are once again checking back in with Chris Lopez, who's making a splash with the Roberts Wesleyan swim and dive team.
Maybe this time, people. Maybe this time. And don't forget, you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 Whammy YouTube channel. Ark Rochester returns after this. Go for it.
The Roberts Wesleyan University men's and women's swim and dive team is smack dab in the middle of their season.
Yeah, Chris Lopez wanted to check out the progress they've made so far this year. He's with them at practice this morning. We're trying, okay, yeah, he's still shaking his head because no, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to see Chris in the water.
I'm not jumping in. If I had known there was this much pressure to jump in, $50 on the line, I got the two of you hounding me left and right. There are people here that are saying, maybe you should jump in. I don't know. I would have brought some shorts, but that's neither here nor there. Talking to Amanda this morning, assistant coach here for the swim team, is well swimming and okay.
Just swimming.
You guys do a little bit more than just coaching the swim team. You guys do a lot of philanthropy, a lot of volunteer work. What do you guys do out and about in the community?
A big part of Roberts athletics in general, when you come here, you know that that's a huge value of our program, is just doing community service whenever we get the chance. We're always volunteering at different things, and different athletic teams get involved in different projects. So, for example, like lacrosse and volleyball did a big fundraiser for the Pirate Toy Fund. Okay. So that was around Christmas
I know a little bit about the Pirate Toy Fund.
So we're always doing things like that. When we were on training trip, we did a big community service project in the afternoon with Mustard Seed Ministries, which was in Florida where we were for training trip. And what we did was we basically packed food for the food pantry, and we helped stock the shelves, and we ended up doing enough work for 500 families to be fed from the baskets that we made. Okay. And then they told us we saved them about 40 hours worth of work just with the 2 to 3 hours we were there as a team. So it's a really great team bonding thing to do too, because we all join together for a common goal and work for, like, we just flow together, we make an assembly line, and everyone's just really getting involved. So it's a great thing outside of the pool to have the team volunteering. It just brings everyone together.
And what do you think that says about the culture of the team? Everyone seemed really close. Everyone was laughing and joking. You guys had music playing throughout the morning, but you guys really go out and help the community. What do you think that says?
We're just a really big group of friends. At the end of the day, it's not, we're here to perform athletically, but we're here for so many other reasons, and just doing things together is fun for everyone. And getting to do things outside of the pool where we're all working towards a common goal is just as exciting as being in the pool, and it just helps create a culture of kindness and community around everything we do.
The coaching style of Coach Sarah Smith, head coach, is pretty unique. She was describing the ins and outs about how she coaches the swim team. Do you think the players take on that identity? I heard gritty when I was talking to the two brothers.
Yeah, for sure. We emphasize, I mean, this is a sport, both swimming and diving in general, it takes a lot of mental toughness, and we're here twice a day for the swimmers, multiple times a week. So we focus a lot on mental toughness and being able to, like, withstand the amount of work that we do, and also knowing that you're more than capable of physically of what we can do here, but it really is just, you don't want to limit yourself mentally. And so that's something we work on a lot, is not just the physical aspect, but the mental aspect of the sport. And then that translates to your whole life. Like, athletics is such a big part of your identity, but it also gives you all these great life skills that you have this determination and perseverance that you can push through just about anything in life and come out on the other side. So it's a great character building moment.
How do you think the seniors are feeling going into this final season? This is, for some of them, this is the last time they're going to jump in the pool competitively.
Yeah. When we just had our final dual meet, so like it was a tri meet, but it was our final regular season meet. And at the end of the meet, one of the seniors came up and told me, she was like, I might cry. And I was like, I might too. But it's just like, you get to know these people over 4 years, and they come in almost seeming like little kids almost. And then they grow into these, over the 4 years, like these great young adults. And you see so much development, and they go through this really transformative period. And so the last meets are always really bittersweet, because in college athletics, the chapter is closing and then life goes on, but it's just, it's really fun. We're just looking to make the most of it at our last conference meet, and I know they're really excited for it, but that last day will be a little bittersweet, emotional.
Prediction going into that big meet?
I think they're going to crush it. I mean, the way that we're training right now, like when I look in the pool and see the paces that they're holding and the new dives that the divers have that they're throwing off of these boards that I've never seen them do before, I feel like we have a lot of confidence going into this, and so we're just trying to get them to that tapered level where we make sure that they're ready to perform. And I think they're going to smash it. I'm very excited to see, and I'm hoping for a lot of energy. We've really been working on cheering on the pool deck and really motivating each other and being really close and involved as a group. So I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a totally different energy this year, and we're going to bring a lot of fun into it.
Well, good luck to you guys on Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Guys, you want to see me get in the pool?
What was that?
There we go.
Okay.
Back to you.
Pathetic. I
got too much electronics on me. Look at this, man.
Yeah,
Cell
listen,
phone, microphone.
And you can take all of that off.
IFB here.
Taking
You
them
can
out pretty
take
close
all
to
of
the
that
pool.
off. How come the chlorine's not reacting with your skin?
Producer Ashley, along with producer Mike DiGiorgio, my two bosses on this show, they're saying we got to get out of this commercial break. We got to pay the bills.
Is that the case?
Yeah, is that what it is? That guy is so full of it, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Lopez, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are checking out the newest recipe with the team over at Spatchcock Fun.
Ark Rochester is back right after this. Dancing it
I
up.
like this one, yeah.
You like it? All right, 8:47. It's time to go into the kitchen for this week's
batch crab. We making Cajun crab cakes today. Now, the thing about cake, man, we love cake. Birthday cake, carrot cake, velvet, don't matter. The best cakes, crab cakes. Now, when you're making crab cakes, scallop cakes, lobster cakes, whatever it is, you want more of the protein than anything else. That's what really gives it the flavor. So you can get some live crabs, like these are some stone crabs. They're pretty nice. And they got this great sweet flavor. But also, what you can also do to make it easier is get bulk crab meat. Now, we use the Boss because it is the Boss, and it allows us to get this lumpy, chunky flavor and really mixes in really well. First, we're gonna make our wet ingredients. So we're gonna take the juice of 1 lemon, cup and a half of some good mayonnaise. Then 1.5 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Gotta be Dijon, babe, gotta be. And then after that, 2 whole eggs. So we're gonna stir it. What you might want, which we want, is a whisk and get it nice and evenly blended. Set your wet aside. Now time for the dry. So you want 2 cups of panko. We like panko, it absorbs a lot. It's a nice fluffy flavor. 1 diced up red bell pepper, 1/3 cup of celery, 4 diced green onions, and a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. This is our homemade Cajun seasoning, but you can go buy some at the store, I guess. Finally, the big kahuna, 1 pound of crab meat. Once you've got this all together, go back to that ooey gooey wet mix, pour it in. So get mixing all this beautiful magic together. You're gonna feel it get a little crunchy, and all of a sudden it's gonna start to look like something special's happening here. Even this guy's like, oh man, this is special. I know, bro, I know. Now you're evenly mixed up, and we're gonna make these into about 2-inch patties. What size that's uniform. So you're gonna get them into a ball out of the ice cream scoop, and then pat them around into patties. If they're parchment paper lined cookie sheets, and put them in the oven at 350 for 6 to 8 minutes to firm them up a little bit before we fry them. Oh, look at these beautiful, crispy, yet juicy and succulent babies right there. That is what a crab cake is. After you bake it for 6 to 8 minutes at 350, heat up some canola oil and fry them 3 to 5 minutes on each side, and you are in heaven, crabby heaven. We made some homemade remoulade. It's a crab cake right there. Spatch crab funk in the house.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Dan Schrack. This is your ARC Rochester news break. Democrats in Congress are fighting back against President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has accused Musk of unlawful meddling in the U.S. Treasury Department after Doge obtained access to its sensitive payment system and the personal information of millions of Americans. Schumer says while he agrees that lawmakers should try and find ways to improve the government, he's concerned Musk's team will make excuses to cut important programs without public debate.
Federal law. Nothing screams democracy like having a secret squad of company men pull off a hostile takeover of America's Social Security and tax information in the dead of night. That is not democracy, Mr. Musk.
President Trump is defending Doge and says Musk can't act without his approval.
Well, he's got access only to letting people go that he thinks are no good if we agree with him.
The Department of Government Efficiency is not an official government agency, does not have legal authority or regulatory power. An update this morning on the death of Robert Brooks, the Rochester native who was shown beaten by several officers at Marcy Correctional Facility in Oneida. According to the Albany Times-Union, his death has now been ruled a homicide. The medical examiner's office says he suffered bruises, a fractured nose, and hemorrhaging. The Times-Union says a grand jury in Oneida County is set to start looking at that case on Monday. Yesterday, the family of Brooks stood shoulder to shoulder with the Rochester Police Accountability Board, calling for justice and urging systemic reform. The PAB hosted a public forum at East High School last night, giving a platform to those impacted by injustices within the Incarceration Police Locust Club, which argues it unfairly links Brooks's death, which happened in Oneida County, to the RPD. But PAB leaders pushed back, saying the goal isn't to target law enforcement, but amplify voices and demand accountability where it's needed.
So this is something that's very much within our jurisdiction and what we should be doing as far as educating and informing the community.
Speaking to the crowd, Robert Ricks, Brooks's father, stressed that real change can't happen in isolation.
We are always talking about the village this, the village that. Well, let's get together and make a village and protect our kids and protect our community and build our community.
More than 200 miles away outside the state capitol in Albany, lawmakers were joined by families and former incarcerated individuals calling for changes to the prison system. 3 bills are currently on the table looking to change the sentencing some prisoners receive. You'll take a look at the list here. One of those bills, the Second Look Act, would allow judges to review or reconsider excessive sentences. Another, known as the Marvin Mayfield Act, would eliminate mandatory minimum sentencing and give judges more discretion over the sentence itself. The third bill, the Earned Time Act, would help facilitate stronger rehabilitation programs for prisoners. Advocates say these bills could help prevent another situation like the death of Brooks.
Together, we are building the power of people and families who have had their lives disrupted and their loved ones disappeared behind walls due to New York's racist and unjust sentencing laws. Robert Brooks' murder is not an isolated incident. It epitomizes a system that thrives on perpetual punishment. Communities! Communities!
The investigation into Brooks's death continues. So far, 17 people have either been suspended without pay or resigned in connection to that case. And for all these stories and any new developments, head over to our website, 13wham.com. Ark Rochester returns right after this.
Good Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock on this February 5th. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Stephanie Joseph.
And I'm Dan Schrack. Let's kick things off this hour with a little bit of fun. Taking a closer look at what is trending now on the internet, the topics people are talking about at the water cooler.
Okay, we were talking about this before.
We were.
Yeah, we're going to start out with a story out of Pennsylvania. Police have reported over $40,000 worth of eggs have been stolen from a distribution trailer over the weekend.
That's nuts. So Pennsylvania State Police say an estimated 100,000 eggs were stolen from Pete and Jerry's Organic Eggs.
Additional information given.
Police are still investigating. This all comes, though, as we know, as egg prices and that shortage are at the top of a lot of people's minds, especially when we're in the grocery store.
Yeah, the egg company says that they are taking the matter seriously and they're committed to resolving this loss.
That's a whole lot of eggs that are no longer on the shelf.
I know back home, like in Maryland, my mama said there's restrictions on the amount that you can buy. Yeah, I
They're
know
limiting the
some
eggs now.
signs. Yeah.
Guess you got to get your own chickens. Hey, speaking of eggs, the breakfast chain, this one we also talked about this morning. The breakfast chain Waffle House is having a diner sellout.
Yeah, diners, they're going to shell out a bit more money.
Yes.
You get it?
That's
it
what
fun?
they're doing. I wasn't getting it. Wasn't getting it. There's a pun built in there, shelling out a bit more for eggs. The diner added a 50-cent surcharge to each egg you order.
Yeah, each. So the company said that the change comes with the surge in egg prices as well. The charge will be applied to all menus at all locations and every state that it's located in.
Now, they have nearly 2,000 locations, so that's a lot of change. The company says they chose to add this temporary surcharge rather than increase the prices.
Now, it's not known how long the surcharge will be in place, but I know, having done the story yesterday, they had said that as long as, you know, prices for eggs are what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be pricey. And waffle, have you ever been, you've been to a waffle, no? No?
No.
Neither
I've
have
always
I.
wanted to go.
Well,
Maybe I'll just stick to the waffles.
listen, I think we can afford the 50 cents. We'll get somebody in the front office to write off, you know, those additional
for
50
research
cents.
purposes.
Absolutely. You just have to see if the eggs taste the same.
Right.
I guess. All right, we're going to turn to another fast food chain this morning, one that's offering a bit more for those night owls.
Yeah, McDonald's in Budapest has turned itself into a nightclub.
That's strange. The location opened only on the weekends from 10 p.m. until 4 a.m.?
That's great. I'm always looking for some place, you know, Saturday night, places close at maybe 1, 2.
Yeah, I mean, you have
Not
a
even
little,
2, really
you
1.
have a little bit too much fun at the bar and you're looking for the place. Now you can party at the bar.
Yeah.
And there's a light show on the ceiling, live DJ sets. It also offers guests the classic McDonald's favorites, as well as some special items.
One dish is even a burger that's topped with foie gras.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
The restaurant is, well, how much? I want to know how much they're charging for that foie gras burger.
It's
The
probably
restaurant,
out there.
yeah, restaurant, one of a kind, and has become a tourist attraction after going viral on social media.
Now, the location was said to be closing down soon, but due to that popularity, the location says that they aren't going anywhere. This is very in line for Hungry. I went and had a great time as a college student there.
Yeah?
So, yeah. I
You
forget
wish
what
this
they
was
call
there
them.
then.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Well, listen, I'm thinking they're charging enough for those foie gras Big Macs because that's the real reason they're staying open. They're making the cha-ching.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
I wonder, do they start breakfast early, though?
I'm trying to remember when I was
Can you
there,
order breakfast at like 2 a.m. when you're at the club and you want to get, hash browns?
You know, that's a great question because we can't do that here.
I
They took
feel
that
like you
away.
should be able to.
Yeah.
I feel like you should be able to. All right, we'll move along to something else. We're talking about McDonald's, but
Shamrock Shake, it is back at all McDonald's locations. It's so good. I mean, you can't have it, but
No.
have you in the past?
I honestly don't think I've ever had it. Isn't it mint?
Yes. but it's not overpowering.
No?
I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So online, it says the release date is February 10th, but some locations, get this, have already started selling them.
And you heard us talk about it before. It's a milkshake made with vanilla soft serve ice cream and artificially flavored minty green syrup and, of course, that whipped cream.
Oh, see, it's artificially flavored mint. One would think at McDonald's they were serving us real minty flavored syrup. They're also offering an Oreo Shamrock McFlurry.
I haven't had that one.
I wonder, though, doesn't McDonald's typically, aren't they the ones that have the issue with the ice cream machines always being down? Okay, so are you able to order these when the ice cream machines are down?
No, from experience.
I'm glad you have that experience, Steph. So for every Shamrock Shake purchased, 25 cents gets donated to the Ronald McDonald House charity. Okay, good cause.
Yeah, and to celebrate the return, McDonald's also brought back Uncle O'Grimacy. Oh.
Oh, look at that. He was a character that was introduced in 1975 as the uncle of Grimace.
Did you ever try the Grimace shake or the Grimace meal did they have?
Can't has meal?
Yeah, I think it might have just been the shake. It was like a purple.
Yes. Wasn't that like went viral on social media where it killed people or something?
No, I don't remember that.
We're being stupid about it.
No, but that's what they were saying, right?
They became possessed or something and they died from it.
I don't know.
We'll
McDonald's
do our
probably
research.
didn't like the death associated with the Grimace milkshake.
So they're bringing Grimacy back.
They're Uncle. What was his name?
O'Grimacy?
O'Grimacy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to commemorate this return, fans can purchase Uncle O merch on the website.
Take
What do
a
we
look at
have? We got
that.
stickers, hats, sweaters. Who's your uncle? that's kind of funny.
I like that.
That is kind of funny.
I think these are reasonable prices for the crew neck. I feel like crew necks kind of go for more nowadays.
Yeah. Here's the question, though. Are you walking around with the McDonald's label on you?
It depends on, like, is that your style? A lot of people, graphic tees.
Okay.
That's their...
But I also think, like, if that a big company like that, they should be giving that stuff away if they want people to wear it.
Can I weigh in?
Okay.
Please.
I think it's hilarious if you wear a shirt that says, "Who's your uncle?" on it. You know what I mean?
Just like
that's
that.
a convo starter.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And some of the responses you get would probably be pretty weird.
That makes it even better.
Of course. All the more reason to,
why not?
I guess, spend 35 bucks and get or 25 bucks and get yourself a graphic tee that says, "Who's your uncle?"
Yeah.
All right. Hey, stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester this Wednesday, including when we come back, we're talking more about the state's proposal to ban cell phones in schools.
And don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are by streaming us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this.
Thanks for sticking with us. 9/12 this Wednesday. Governor Kathy Hochul recently announced major proposals that, if approved, would impact schools across the state.
Yeah, two of those proposals stood out to New Yorkers. One would, and the other would offer free tuition for certain programs at SUNY and CUNY schools.
Yeah, study.com released a few surveys asking about these proposals to gather some insight for those directly impacted.
Yeah, and so this morning we're joined by Senior Vice President of Social Impact at study.com, Dana Bryson, to tell us more. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning and happy to be here.
Thank you for taking time, Dana. So break this down for us. Let's start with the cell phone ban. What did study.com find?
Yeah, so we did a national survey of about 700 educators nationwide, looking at those with strict cell phone policies and those with lenient cell phone policies to ask teachers their experiences. 68% of educators said if they were in a district with a strict cell phone policy, it improved classroom behavior. 70% said it enhanced student safety.
I'm wondering if there was any leeway, because sometimes, like for example, in classes in high school, we would use our phones to participate in like a Kahoot, for example. We would take a quiz online all together as a group to test our knowledge. Was there any room for consideration for that in the study?
Yeah, what we really were trying to get was what teachers' experiences were with it. And so, of course, educators sometimes use cell phones for very specific things in classes. But generally, especially in New York, 8% higher than the average. So whereas 76 on average percent of teachers felt like it would improve, having a ban would improve classroom behavior, it was 8 points higher in New York, and the same thing for student safety. So that doesn't mean there wouldn't be some allowance for it, but educators felt like, we saw in the study that 20% of educators spent more than an hour a week managing cell phone use with their students.
So in regards to student safety, taking the cell phones away, the teachers feel would make them safer.
Exactly.
How does that work?
What we saw in the survey from educators is that when they were in a district or a school with a strict policy, that they were taken out of the role of needing to police, really, to manage that use. There was already an expectation, and educators could focus on what they want to focus on, which is building trust and helping students learn.
I know one of the proposals from the governor's office costs, I believe it's something like $15 million for districts to buy pouches and cubbies. The New York State Education Commissioner Betty Rosa came out and said that she doesn't know that this is the best use of money, and that maybe each individual district should manage these kinds of plans themselves, because there are districts across New York that already have cell phone bans in place. Any idea where teachers fall on that? Do districts find managing this on their own rather than broad swipe at combating usage across the board?
Well, we didn't specifically ask that question, but I do know that there are over 20 states, I think almost 25, that have some sort of policy, ban, restriction, or incentive in place, and sometimes these incentives are around funding a pouch. But we do know that 70% of the educators we surveyed nationally said cell phone bans improved their overall teaching experience. And 62% said it improved work satisfaction. So those are important numbers we want to focus on.
Sure.
And I'm wondering if the reason why it was better in terms of the learning environment by taking these cell phones away is maybe the distraction element of things. Were there any reasons listed specifically, or any concerns about other technology sort of taking the place of smartphones?
Right, Stephanie. So we did a follow-up survey looking at smartwatches and wearable technology, knowing that that was going to be a popular gift over the holiday. And no surprise to us, 70% of educators said, yes, this is a distraction, specifically texting and playing games, and that they really saw it as a replacement for a cell phone in class.
Dana, we're running low on time, but I do want to talk about the New York State's free education plan for residents 25 to 55 at SUNY and CUNY schools. I know you guys looked into that as well. What did you find out?
Well, I think that, listen, debt, we actually just came out this week with a survey on the 40 country with some education and no degree about what would have them go back to school. And we found that 52% of those surveyed under the age of 35 plan to re-enroll in college and finish. We asked them why they stopped. The number one reason was debt. The number two, eliminate financial barriers to help people go back to school. That's a good thing.
There's also an emphasis on specific areas of study, like nursing, for example, being one of them. Do you happen to know if there is anyone that is interested in that specific field or other fields related to this entire initiative?
I'm not sure about that specific initiative, but I do know that both nursing and teaching are two high demand professions that don't have enough folks going into them. And so we see at study.com, because we offer a lot of certification for nurses and for educators across the country, we see that as a high demand field. And so I'm sure that the safety net is there for students and folks needing help.
Dana, real quick, I just want to follow up before we let you go. You mentioned debt and self-confidence were the two big factors there. Any correlation between the self-confidence tied to the debt, or where does the self-confidence issue come from?
Great question. So 75% of those we surveyed said debt was the number one reason they stopped out. And 73%, just below that, said it was the stress of academics and managing work-family balance, because a lot of folks are time or raising a family, helping parents, etc.
Yeah, so those go hand
we
in
saw
hand.
that confidence is that key to them. 70% said if they felt more confident, they would re-enroll in school.
All right. Dana, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate the insight.
Have a great morning, Dan.
You too.
Thank you. Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're taking a look at some of your top headlines.
Your news break coming up after this.
Welcome back. I'm Stephanie Joseph. Here is your ARC Rochester news break. Seth Netanyahu met with President Trump at the White House yesterday, marking the first official visit from a foreign leader since Trump returned to office. During yesterday's meeting, President Trump said he wants the U.S. to take over Gaza, level it, and redevelop it, something Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says could, quote, change history. Netanyahu called the president the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House. The Wall Street Journal also reports the Trump administration is expected to announce a $1 billion arms sale to Israel weeks after the president lifted a hold on 2,000-pound bombs.
In our meetings today, the Prime Minister and I focused on the future, discussing how we can work together to ensure Hamas is eliminated and ultimately restore peace to a very troubled region.
In Gaza, Israel has three goals: destroy Hamas's military and governing capabilities, secure the release of all of our hostages, and ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel.
White House officials say President Trump is now focused on working on the second phase of the ceasefire agreement, which would see more hostages released from Hamas control. 76 hostages remain unaccounted for, including 6 Americans. The Trump administration is also moving forward with widespread layoffs for federal workers. Those layoffs are expected to begin soon after tomorrow's deadline for employees to accept a deferred resignation package. Under that package, workers can voluntarily resign and continue to receive pay through September 30th, but will not be required to work. White House officials say more than 20,000 workers have already agreed to the offer. That number is expected to rise. Police outside Columbus, Ohio are searching for a person of interest in a mass shooting inside a warehouse that left 1 person dead and 5 others injured. He's been identified here as Bruce Reginald Foster III, an employee at the warehouse. The shooting happened just before 11 last night at a cosmetics warehouse in New Albany, about 15 miles northeast of Ohio's capital city. Investigators say about 150 people were inside the building at the time and believe the shooting was targeted.
This has been a very tragic situation. Our thoughts go out to the victims, their families, and everybody that works at this facility. This is something that we hope that would never happen in our community.
Police do not believe there is any threat to the area. And in local news, a 31-year-old man is behind bars after police say he stabbed his neighbor on Rochester's northwest side. Officers responded to Saratoga Avenue here around 5:30 last evening and found the victim with a stab wound to the lower body. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Investigators believe that the attack stemmed from a neighborhood dispute. The suspect was taken into custody after returning to the scene. A school bus driver in Ontario County is facing serious charges after police say he allegedly drove the bus to buy a rifle, then drove students around with the gun on board. Now, authorities say 57-year-old David Ferry drove an empty Naples school bus to a Walmart in Geneva on Monday, where he purchased a .22 caliber rifle. Hours later, state troopers pulled him over on Route 247 in Gorham with a dozen high school students on board. Investigators say the unloaded rifle was still in its original packaging and tucked under the driver's seat. And while no ammunition was found, police are still trying to figure out why he had it on the bus.
We're glad somebody called because you just never know.
Yeah, so
this was a nothing nefarious was planned with the firearm, but you see firearm and school bus and they just don't mix.
Ferry was charged with criminal possession of a weapon on school grounds and endangering the welfare of a child. He was issued an appearance ticket. Naples school leaders say Ferry is no longer employed by the district. Now, for all of these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Stick around. ARC Rochester is back right after this.
9:29. Thanks for sticking with us this Wednesday morning here on ARC Rochester. I'm Dan Schrack.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. We want to kick off our final half hour this morning by taking a look at the forecast in case you're getting ready to head to the door. So meteorologist Marty Snyder is here with a look.
I'm here for you.
It's cold, yes.
Yeah, just chilly day today and going into early tomorrow. That's the time frame when things are going to change a little bit. Could see some mixed precipitation by then, but we can go through the timeline right now. We're starting off just a couple little scattered snow showers out there. Going to stay pretty light. We can take a look at radar. We'll show you exactly how it's playing out. Really not a lot out there, but just a couple little snow showers here and there, just kind of hit and miss. You can see it filling into the west, but in general, a lot of this is going to stay pretty light, and that's going to erode down and taper off. Now, as we head into tomorrow morning, that's just a slightly bigger story. Not going to be a big ice storm or anything like that, but we could see some mixed precipitation, especially south of Rochester. And that's why a lot of those counties are under that winter weather advisory. That's mainly centered on tomorrow morning. Wyoming, Livingston, Ontario counties, a little better chance of seeing some of that there. And we'll take a look at the timeline between now and then. It's just that cloud cover and a couple of snow showers for today, and that's about it. Not a big deal. Maybe a few more breaks in the clouds by the end of the day. And then overnight tonight, clouds build. There's that precipitation to our south early tomorrow. That starts to build in as we head closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. Good chance that a lot of it could be just in the form of snow showers in the Rochester area with a little better chance of that mix to the south. And notice how fast it moves out. I think by 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, a lot of it's going to be out. But bottom line, just keep in mind that around Rochester, we're going to see what could be up to an inch of snow accumulation during the morning commute tomorrow. Not a huge amount, but as we all know, just enough to have to be concerned about. Areas to the south could see a little sleet or a little bit of glaze on some surfaces. So just a little different situation for areas south.
And that's during the morning commute. That's not prior to people leaving the house.
Correct. Yeah, for early part of the morning commute, it's going to be ramping up. But bottom line, I think we're going to see more of that build in as the commute progresses. So if you can get out early, get to where you're going, you'll be all right. But even through the morning commute, it's not going to be horrible out there, but just one of those things where you want to plan some extra time for that commute tomorrow morning. And today you can see those few snow showers that are out there today. A little different story, but just looks winter-like for now, and that's about all that we'll deal with for today.
I mean, it is that time of year.
It is. I mean, surprisingly, we're mild in terms of temperatures, right? Like
not too bad, but where we should be for this time of day. You know, teens for lows, a little below the average high. Average highs lower 30s. Today we'll just have to settle for mid-20s, and that's about it. But
look at you trying to really sell it to the people.
Yeah.
It's mild. It's fine. As soon as the cameras go off, ladies and gentlemen, she starts screaming about this forecast. Marty's afraid of her.
Of all people, Stephanie would not do that.
Right.
No, she's easy going.
They know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just going to be chilly. Tomorrow might hit 40 for a high in the afternoon, so you know, something small to look forward to. Not great, but
like jacket weather.
Like I always say, it's those small wins we have to consider this time of year.
So what falls tomorrow during the commute by late afternoon, will that largely be gone?
I think it will be in the process of melting. You know, some areas may hit the upper 30s, maybe just kind of borderline above freezing. So we're not going to lose everything that we do see, but we'll see that melting process at least begin before it all just stops going into tomorrow night as we drop down below freezing again. Maybe we just got to stay near the freezing point and below for a lot of these upcoming days. Tomorrow's that one day when we may just break the freezing point by a little more to see a little more melting play out, but not fully melt everything.
Yes, that will be nice. The commute home, far better than the commute in.
Exactly, yeah. And like I say, it's one of those things, just plan a little extra time in, you should be fine tomorrow, but just, you know, it's always, and I'm telling my kids that as they're just starting to drive, you know, you just need to plan that extra day. You can leave out the door and get to where you want to go on at the same amount of time. You got to plan that time in so you don't have to rush and, you know, end up with a bad thing happening on the way.
Absolutely.
Great advice.
All right, Marty Snyder, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Celebrating a sweet national holiday just in time for Valentine's Day.
Exciting stuff. And hey, don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are by streaming us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We'll see you after this.
Okay, we're dishing it out this morning, celebrating National Chocolate Fondue Day.
And of course, in ARC fashion, we're going to be eating this morning, she said skeptically, but this morning we probably won't like what we're eating.
Well, listen, there's one thing on here that'll probably taste decent.
Okay.
The rest of it, I'm not so sure about. So this morning we have a variety of chocolate-covered foods, all of which are kindly vegan. And we're going to be trying them, and we'll tell you if you should serve these up for Valentine's Day. I'm going to pull this up so Cam 2 can get a nice beauty shot of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to start with something that will be good?
Let's do a compliment sandwich. We got a plus, we got a minus, go back to the plus.
Okay. So let's start with the chocolate-covered barbecue potato chips.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Oh, that's a big chocolate-covered.
It's stuck on there. Okay.
Oh.
I put a lot of work into this.
We can tell.
And it's appreciated. All right. I feel like the barbecue is fleeting. You taste it on the first go around, depending on where you bite.
I'm going to go in for bite number 2. I don't hate that one.
Yeah, I think this one is fine. If you served this, I wouldn't be upset with you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I would question, but I wouldn't be upset. Okay. Compliment sandwich, right?
Yes.
So now something that's not going to be so great.
Do we think the pickles? Or do you want to go for the cheese?
I mean, if you want to try the pickle, we can. Yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
Are these one of the sweet pickles?
They're dill.
Dill?
Oh God, that's gonna be so gross.
Take a look. They have a look. Okay. Oh, you already what?
Don't try that one. Stephanie likes it. You do, don't you?
It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But I wouldn't say this is a go-to for me.
You wouldn't serve it at a party?
No.
Okay.
No.
So now we're going to try the ones in the back there.
I think chocolate makes anything better.
Until you try this.
Okay.
So.
This is the vegan cheese?
No, this is. Oh, actually.
What happened to compliments?
Yeah, this is the vegan cheese. It's vegan smoked Gouda.
That chocolate is on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went thick with this chocolate, Ashley. No.
Really?
No.
You like
I don't mind this one. I'm having a great time. I would say cheese and chocolate, barbecue, and then the pickle.
No, barbecue all the way.
This is nice. I would 100% have this again.
The smoked Gouda, though,
Yeah.
solid by itself.
I don't know. I feel like some flavors overpowered the others. So for me, I got the strong cheese flavor, but the chocolate sort of just melted away. But when it came to the barbecue chip, it was the chocolate that was the star
I'm
of
gonna
the
go
show.
back in for a barbecue chip. Okay. Up
Go back in
next.
for some cheese.
Are you gonna?
No, it's okay. I'll just. Oh, is that?
Yep. Try that.
I don't even know which one I should pick up. Okay.
Whatever one you can get.
Right.
Oh.
Is this like a vegan mozzarella?
No, this is tofu.
This is what?
Yeah. This is chocolate-covered tofu.
No flavor, no marinade.
No, it's I'm fairly certain it's extra firm.
Okay.
But even extra firm tofu is not firm enough.
I think this is gonna be tough for me. Yep.
That's not where it's at.
Tastes like paper.
Chocolate-covered paper.
Yes.
Okay. Next, the jalapeno peppers.
Okay.
Let's do the pineapple.
Oh, wait, no, we wanted to save the pineapple for the end because that one's going to taste good.
Okay.
It'll be the
compliment
palate
sandwich
cleanser.
has just-
I know. Well,
got too
listen,
many layers.
I think there were more bad things than there were compliments.
Okay.
So please help yourself. Which one would you like?
I would choose the biggest one.
Go for it.
Oh my God, and it came off so nicely.
Came right off that plate.
Yay. Take a look.
Okay, I am not eating 2 of these.
All right. Cheers.
Questionable, people. Here we go.
But I don't even know. I didn't get a new pepper.
This is ASMR. Take another bite next to the mic. Do it. Chili and chocolate.
It doesn't taste bad.
It's not spicy.
No.
This was
Get
rough.
some seeds.
You gotta get some seeds in there. Ready?
Love it.
This is the weirdest thing we've ever done.
Arc ASMR. Yeah.
Not
that
my
was
favorite.
Not for me. That's
Seeds.
Did you? Okay. I'm
little bit of
feeling.
heat.
Yeah, just a tad.
Okay. Shall we go back to the
Pineapple.
yeah, go back to something good, grab a pineapple slice.
Okay. I feel like you should grab that one. So that I feel like we're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
be stuck
Here,
together.
you grab that one at the same time.
Oh no.
Oh, I took a lot of your chocolate.
That's fine. Okay.
Here we go.
No.
The silence is deafening.
It's not. Listen, the tofu and chocolate is disgusting.
That's bottom.
And I love tofu.
Yeah, I know.
That didn't
Well,
work.
just with a little marinade with it.
Then I would say the pickle and chocolate, gross.
Yes.
The jalapeno pepper and chocolate.
What? I thought that was
Look at you
last.
going back in for the
Yes,
for
it's
the cheese and
delicious.
chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back for the barbecue and chocolate. So I think we found the 2 winners: the fake smoked Gouda and chocolate,
Yeah.
and the barbecue potato chips and chocolate.
Yeah. I think
Those two
are
worked.
reasonable. And it's a balance.
And
savory
listen,
and sweet.
I don't. The pineapple is not bad by any means. It's just not the best one. I would say Gouda, pineapple, barbecue. That would be my order.
From worst to best, or?
See, yeah, and I don't even know if all of that is tofu or if some of that is smoked Gouda.
No, it's all tofu.
It's all tofu.
Oh, great.
It's all tofu.
Yeah. I would say Gouda's
This is
top for
okay.
me. Gouda, chips, and then dead last is the pepper, jalapeno pepper.
This is good. Okay. Stick around, because when we come back, we're going to be joined in studio by some contestants fighting to win the title of Rochester's top pet. And one of those contestants, I'm telling you right now, would eat everything on this table and probably try and eat the table, too.
So we've got to wipe our hands before that. Stick around. We're back after this. Hey, welcome
what a
back.
morning! The Verona Street Animal Society has an adorable way of raising funds for its shelter, and it's happening, Steph, right now.
Right now.
Literally right now.
Yes, this year's Rock Top Pet Contest is underway with all of the proceeds going towards its services.
It is, and this morning we have some of the contestants with us. We are joined by Preston the goat with his owner Dominique. And in cardboard cutout form, we have Laszlo and the cat owner Cassia, right?
Cassia.
Good morning to you 4.
Yes.
3.5, maybe a little bit.
3.5.
Thank you for waking up bright and early and coming in.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Happy to
So,
be here.
what time did the goat have to wake up to come in?
He's up at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. This is incredible. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this beautiful, beautiful animal.
So I rescued him from Lollipop in October. And he's just been my favorite pet ever. He's so easy to be with and snuggle.
How do we know how old?
He's about 4, it's estimate.
4 is the estimate. What kind of goat?
He's a Nubian.
A Nubian. And what does he weigh?
He's about 160 pounds.
Hello.
Hi, about
How you
100.
doing?
Can we pet him? Is that
Yo,
okay?
please, he loves it.
Look at you. You are very handsome.
And is this as big?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
What does he eat?
Laszlo.
Mostly just hay, grass, some grain, but
Very handsome fella there he is. Very handsome. Okay, so let's get to Laszlo. Where is Laszlo?
And he was not thrilled with the idea of being surrounded by 4 dogs in the top 5,
That's fair.
which, I mean, just what a surprise
Well,
that he would feel that way.
one
but-
cat competing with top dog.
Well, as Preston knows, work 10 times harder. So it has been a challenge for us. But Preston, I think we can do it. Laszlo was in 3rd place last year, going back and forth.
Wow, really?
You feeling the pressure?
Does that surprise either of you? Or is this like par for the course? You've seen this kind of play out. You saw it a little bit last year.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the first week, so everything changes by the end of February, and refreshing.
You become a little obsessed.
Yeah. So
Is there like any campaigning involved to like get your pet out there, vote for my pet?
well, Laszlo has 3 websites.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell my husband and I work in digital marketing? So he has voteforlaszlo.com, and you can find his other websites on his profile on the contest page, but you can learn all about him there.
Yeah.
And he's very active on Instagram, so you can also follow him and look at pictures of him on there.
Yeah, that's a great place to.
Fun fact, growing up, had a cat and a goat. Believe it or not. Yes, the goat's name was Bill E. Goat. We got rid of him after my mother made us get rid of him. He ran into the back room, headbutted my mom, and then jumped on the recliner and relieved himself.
Oh, no.
And that's when she said, I've had enough with this animal. He's got to go.
You're cool
so
with us,
he
Preston.
went back to the farm that my sister brought him home from. But the cat always stayed. The cat was always very good. But this goat seems like we don't have as much energy. Very chill, very calm. No?
His sisters are good point.
They're fake, Preston. You would not like them, I promise.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about this process. If someone is sitting at home right now and they're saying to themselves, okay, I got to vote for that goat, or I got to vote for the cat, how do they do that?
Well, you can go to Verona Street's website, and they have a link to the contest, and there you can see all the contestants, read up on them. There are 2 new categories this year also, so you can check those out and donate in those pets' names as well. And yeah, it's really easy. And they also keep their social media very updated with updates on the contest and the contestants.
And every vote is a donation, and all of that money raised goes right to Verona Street Animal Shelter and helps them keep doing the terrific work they do. Okay, so we're running a little bit low on time. Here's what I want the 3.5 of you to do, if you can. Talk to camera 3 here, right in the center.
Make your
and
case.
yeah, make your case. Tell us why people should vote for the 2 of you, the 3.5 of you.
I'll go first. Well, Preston is just a sweetheart, and who doesn't want a goat to win? He's not a dog, but he acts like one.
I mean, that's fair. He's not a dog, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even lying about it.
Definitely ordinary, or extraordinary.
Yeah. Oh.
And Laszlo?
Well, Laszlo is the total package. As you can see, he is the quintessential tabby cat. I mean, look at those little mittens and those fluffy cheeks. But he is such a smart, just funny guy. He knows tricks, which not common for a cat. And he is just hilarious. He makes us laugh all day, every day.
Wonderful.
Adorable.
All right, so we're going to go to break. Don't go anywhere because these four are going to stick around for a little bit for our final thoughts this morning.
And we're back after this. Time now for our final thoughts.
Yes, final thoughts is you've got to go online. You have to vote for either Preston or Laszlo. I think we'll put the website up. If you don't see it on your screen, go to our website on foxrochester.com. I know you just love being petted.
Look at these faces.
And you can vote for Rock's Top Pet. Again, all of it for a great cause. You don't want to miss it. That does it for us this Wednesday morning. Make sure to wake up with us tomorrow morning starting at 4:57 over on the other channel. Steph, what is it?
13 Wham,
Yes.
ABC. And we also have much more live local news coming up later. 13 Wham News at midday. We'll see you at noon. Have a great day.
Preston, can we get a goodbye?